Controversy tonight over a letter sent out by the Holy Cross Services Board of Directors. The child welfare organization helps provide foster care, mental health services, and shelters to dozens of communities across the state.
But today, its good work is being overshadowed by what some are calling anti-LGBTQ rhetoric. News 8's Megan Bunchman joining us now in studio with more on this story. Megan?
Now, there was a letter sent to Holy Cross staffers back on November 5th that was meant to remind employees about the organization's stance on not engaging or promoting lifestyles that fall outside of the Catholic Church's teachings. Since then, though, dozens of employees have submitted their own thoughts to the board of directors, objecting to what many say is anti-LGBTQ rhetoric.
Behind closed doors in Lansing Friday, the Holy Cross Services Board of Directors met to discuss, among other things, its latest email to staffers discussing the nonprofit's, quote, relationship to the gay and transgender community.
We are required, mandated by our religion, to open our services to everybody. Holy Cross Services will not advertise its services at Pride Day parades, for example. That has nothing to do with whether or not we will help people in need, because we will help everybody
in and say, oh no, we've already been here.
But for employees turned protesters like Sarah Gilbert,
we've been attending Pride events to recruit foster families for years.
The controversial email, what she calls a new directive, is not only damaging to the foster families and kids they already work with, but a reversal in what their organization stands for.
There are religious organizations that have these, directives within their bylaws and their policies and their rules, and that just isn't us.
Since the initial letter was emailed to employees earlier this month, instructing them to, quote, not engage in any activity which promotes lifestyles that Holy Cross believes are damaging to human dignity, the group's CEO and other notable staffers have objected to and even challenged the legality of such instruction.
Our contracts that we engaged with the state clearly let us know that we are not to be practicing any discriminatory in any discriminatory way.
Contracts and grants like a $1.5 million boost awarded to the nonprofit last December from the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity. On Thursday, CEO Ryan Kuzelman told reporters with our sister station that the board's veiled discrimination could cost the organization millions of dollars in state and federal contracts. In the end, Kuzelman was fired, a disappointing but not necessarily unexpected move, says Gilbert, and the other dozen or so Holy Cross employees who gathered outside the board meeting Friday to protest.
It's a hit, and it's a hard one to take.
Faith-based organizations have a statutory right under Michigan law to provide these services, and the state can't discriminate against us. But these are all hypotheticals. It just hasn't happened because we are not declining to provide services to LGBTQ kids.
As for what's next and if Holy Cross Services employees will follow the new mandate,
we're not going to operate out of fear, and we're going to keep providing the services we have because we haven't operated under this directive, and we're not going to.
Now, I just spoke with the counsel for the board of directors about 20 minutes ago. She told me that while she can't get into too many details about today's meeting, Kuzelman was let go because of an investigation that was launched in September that didn't have to deal with the rhetoric around LGBTQ, but how he treated certain employees. She also confirmed that Sharon Berkebine, the former CEO, will now serve as interim president. Amber.